In the heart of a modern city, where technology and innovation intertwine with daily life, a new messaging application has begun to circulate among the most curious and daring users. Known as the application in the darkest circles of the web, it promises something that until now seemed impossible: the ability to connect with deceased loved ones. The idea of speaking with those who are no longer with us is tantalizing, but what many don't know is that each conversation comes with a chilling price. Imagine for a moment that you receive an anonymous message on your phone, a link that takes you to a dark and mysterious page. The interface is simple, almost minimalist, but there's something about it that draws you in irresistibly. You download the application without a second thought, driven by curiosity and the hope of hearing the voice of someone who is no longer here. The installation is quick, and within seconds, you find yourself facing a blank screen with a simple text field and a send button. You type the name of that special person, the one whose absence has left an unbearable void in your life. You press send and wait, your heart racing. Suddenly, the screen flickers, and a message appears. It's her, or at least you think it is. The words on the screen are so familiar, so full of love and nostalgia, that you can't help but feel a mix of joy and sadness. The conversation flows, and for a moment, you feel transported to a past time, a place where everything was simpler and happier. But then, something changes. The responses begin to turn darker, more unsettling. There's something in those words that sends a chill down your spine. You try to close the application. It's too late. You've crossed a line from which there is no return. The application doesn't just let you talk to the dead. It also connects you with something more, something that doesn't belong to this world. Each message you send, each response you receive, brings you closer to an abyss from which you cannot escape. Users who have tried the application tell chilling stories of shadows moving in the darkness, of whispers echoing in the silence of the night, of presences felt but not seen. And the worst part is that once you start using the application, you can't stop. You're trapped in an endless cycle of messages and responses, of hope and despair, of life and death. But not all is lost. There are those who say there is a way to break the cycle, to free yourself from the curse of the application. Rumors circulate in the deepest corners of the web, in hidden forums and secret chats, of people who have found a way out. They speak of ancient rituals, forgotten words, and sacrifices that must be made to regain peace. But no one knows for sure if these rumors are true, or if they are just another trap, another deception to lure more victims into the abyss. Meanwhile, the application continues to circulate, attracting more and more users with its promise of connection to the beyond. And you, having heard this story, wonder if it's worth the risk, if you're willing to pay the price for one last message, one last conversation. The decision is yours, but remember, once you cross the line, there's no turning back. As you delve deeper into the mysteries of the application, you begin to uncover more about its origins. Some say it was created by a brilliant but troubled programmer who lost someone close to him. Others whisper that it was born from a dark pact, a deal with forces beyond our understanding. Whatever its true origins, one thing is clear. The application has a life of its own, a sinister intelligence that seems to grow stronger with each use. You start to notice strange occurrences in your daily life. Objects move on their own, doors creak open when no one is there, and you swear you can hear faint whispers in the dead of night. Your friends and family begin to notice changes in you. You're more distant, more preoccupied. They worry, but you can't bring yourself to tell them the truth. You're too far gone, too entangled in the web of the application. One night, as you sit alone in your room, the screen of your phone flickers to life. A message appears, but this time it's different. The words are urgent, almost desperate. "Help me," it says. "I can't find my way back." You feel a pang of guilt and fear. Have you been communicating with a trapped soul all this time? Is there a way to set them free? You spend hours researching, digging through old books and obscure websites. You find references to ancient rituals, incantations meant to guide lost spirits back to their rightful place. With a heavy heart, you decide to try one of these rituals. You gather the necessary items, candles, herbs, a small mirror, and set them up in your room. As you recite the words, you feel a strange energy filling the air. The room grows colder, and the whispers grow louder. Suddenly, the screen of your phone shatters. The room is plunged into darkness, and you feel a presence, stronger than ever before. It's as if the ritual has opened a door, but instead of guiding the spirit back, it has let something else in. You hear footsteps, heavy and deliberate, moving towards you. You try to scream, but no sound comes out. You're paralyzed with fear. The presence grows closer, and you can feel its breath on your neck. It's cold, so cold, and you know that whatever it is, it's not human. You close your eyes, bracing yourself for the inevitable. But then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the presence vanishes. The room returns to normal, and you're left alone, shaking and terrified. You look at your phone, now a useless piece of broken glass. The application is gone, but you know that whatever you unleashed is still out there. You've broken the cycle, but at what cost? You spend the next few days in a state of constant anxiety, jumping at every shadow, every noise. You can't sleep, can't eat, can't think of anything but the chilling presence that haunted you. Eventually, you decide to share your story. You post it on a forum, hoping that others might learn from your experience. You warn them about the dangers of the application, about the price that must be paid. And as you hit send, you feel a small sense of relief. Maybe, just maybe, your story will save someone else from the same fate. The story doesn't end there. As you continue to share your experience, you begin to hear from others who have gone through the same ordeal. They tell you about their own encounters, their own rituals, their own escapes. Together, you form a small community, a support group for those who have dared to cross the line and live to tell the tale. You learn that the application is more widespread than you ever imagined. It's not just a few curious users, it's a global phenomenon. People from all walks of life have been drawn in, lured by the promise of one last conversation. And like you, many have paid the price. But there are also those who have found a way to fight back, to break the cycle and reclaim their lives. You become an advocate, a voice for those who have been silenced by fear. You speak out against the application, warning others of its dangers. You share your story at conferences, on podcasts, anywhere you can reach an audience. And slowly, you begin to see a change. People start to listen, to take your warnings seriously. The application's hold begins to weaken. But even as you fight against it, you know that the battle is far from over. The application is still out there, still drawing in new users, still promising the impossible. And you know that as long as it exists, there will be those who are willing to pay the price. So, you continue your crusade, determined to save as many people as you can. You know that you can't stop the application entirely, but you can make a difference. You can warn others, guide them, help them find their way back from the abyss. And in doing so, you find a new purpose, a new meaning in your life. If you've made it this far, it's because this story has kept you on the edge of your seat, because you felt the chill run down your spine and imagined what it would be like to be in that situation. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment telling us what you thought. Your opinion is very important to us and helps us continue creating content that keeps you on the edge of terror. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and until the next chilling tale.